Hi guys, it's Kate and Val, and we're back for an extra special class today because while we're doing this class, we're going to encourage some drinking. Now you can just drink some water, you can drink some wine, whatever you need to get through this quarantine is what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to start. This is a very nice flow. We're just enjoying some nice stretches. So we're going to start class in a supported fish pose. Now normally we do this with blocks, but I understand that a lot of people don't always have blocks. Everybody has blankets and pillows, all that stuff. So think about getting a really nice firm pillow and placing it right underneath your low back and then letting your head rest on top of that bolster. You can even put towels or pillows or anything that you need to help elevate the head. You can have your legs out nice and long, or you can even bring the soles of the feet together and bring the legs out nice and wide. And if that bothers your knees, you can always support them with more blocks and blankets and pillows because we want to make it nice and comfy. And while we're here, we're going to take some nice deep breaths. Notice how Kate's chest is nice and open to the sky. So this allows her to take some nice full breaths. And actually, she gets to spread the muscles in between each of her rib cage. This is going to allow her to take nice deep breaths later on throughout her day. She's going to take nice deep breaths in through the nose. And at the top of her inhale, pause for a moment. Exhale everything out and pause at the bottom of the exhale. Think about your breath like an ocean wave, inhaling up onto the shore, pausing for a moment, and then exhaling all the way back out into the ocean. And I want you to visualize this ocean wave as you breathe in and you exhale out with those pauses in between. And just focus on your breath here. Focus on the breath coming in through the nose and out through the mouth. Find that nice gentle pause and breathe here. When we take nice deep breaths, we tell our mind that we're nice and relaxed, and we tell our body that we're nice and relaxed. So in moments of stress or anxiety, we can use our breath to tell our body that it's okay, and that it's okay to carry on throughout our day if we just pause for a moment and take some nice moments for some deep breaths. Bringing our body into our nice relaxed rest and digest. This is when our body takes time to heal our insides rather than staying in that fight or flight at all times. So at this point, you're starting to feel the heart rate slow down. Maybe that nice deep breath is coming second nature to you. And start to take some ujjayi breath. So inhaling in through the nose and exhaling out through the nose. Keeping with those nice, deep, full breaths. Take one more deep breath in. And on your exhale, let's close the knees together like a book. If they're not already out long in front of you, bring them together, bend the knees, and we're just going to gently roll into whichever fetal position you'd like. So right or left, gently roll off of your blocks and blankies. And then maybe take your top arm and just kind of reach behind you and move that block or blankie or pillow or whatever it is out from behind you. And gently roll all the way back down onto your back, nice and easy. And hug the knees into the chest, give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe gently rock from side to side, massaging the sacrum on the floor. And we're going to gently let the knees drop over to the right. Let the left arm go out nice and long. Maybe cactus that left arm, meaning make it a 90-degree angle. Maybe that right hand comes on the left knee, and we're breathing here. Nice, deep, full breaths. Let's inhale the knees back to center and switch them side. Gaze goes over the right arm this time. Find that cactus. Find that depth. Find that breath. And then keeping the knees over to the left, we're going to make our way into the fetal position facing the left side of the room. So the left bicep is going to become a pillow. Find some nice grounding down into that left side of the body. And then using your right hand, you're going to make your way to a comfortable seat at the front of your mat. Have a sip of whatever it is that makes you happy today. And when you're ready, we're going to come back into that comfortable seat. I'm going to have Kate face the front of the room so that she can see, or so that you can see what she's doing. We're going to have her take a nice deep inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And as she exhales, her hands are going to come down in prayer, down to her heart. And we're going to run through this, thinking about that ocean wave again. Inhale, reach the arms up, pause at the top of your inhale, hold. Exhale the hands down through heart center and pause at the end of your exhale. Nice. One more time, nice deep breath and reach the arms up. Pause at the top of your inhale. Exhale the hands down center. This time let's inhale, reach the arms up overhead. That right hand is going to plant down. The left hand is going to grab for the head, and it's going to be a gentle neck stretch over towards the left side of the room. Maybe crawl the right fingertips out a little bit. Maybe tuck that chin down slightly. Feel that towards the back of the neck. And use your breath to let you sink into the shoulders away from the ears, sitting up nice and tall, beautiful. One more deep breath in, and on your exhale, your left hand is going to plant down onto the floor. Your right arm is going to reach up and overhead, and you're going to take a lateral bend here. So really ground into that left hand. Reach the right fingertips up. Ground into that right hip. Maybe gaze up at your right bicep. Pull that right shoulder back. And then let's inhale, come back to center, reach both arms up overhead, and we're going to switch it out. This time the left hand is going to plant, and the right arm is going to grab for the head. Yeah, there we go. Nice deep breaths. Exhale, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Crawl those left fingertips out. Tuck that chin down slightly. Sit up nice and tall. Feel those sit bones grounded. We're not rounding through the spine here. Nice strong core for one more deep breath in. And on the exhale, the right hand is going to plant down towards the floor. The left arm is going to reach up and over. Find that lateral bend. Really ground that left hip down. Feel that nice stretch and opening through the left side of the body. Beautiful, nice, deep breaths. Let's inhale back to center. And we're going to find a tabletop position. So hands are going to come underneath the shoulders. Knees are going to come underneath the hips. Tops of the feet are down onto the ground. Fingers are spread out nice and wide. And we're going to start with some cat-cows. On the inhale, the belly is going to drop. The gaze is going to go forward. And on the exhale, the spine is going to round. Tuck the tailbone under. Tuck the chin to the chest. And move through those, following your own breath, your own movement. Beautiful. Maybe you take some circles with your hips. Maybe you take a child's pose on your exhale. Whatever feels good for your body. Move into your spine and your hips and your shoulders and feel the spaces where you really need to kind of accentuate your movement and use your breath to find those spaces and move into them. Nice. Beautiful job. We're here for a few more deep breaths. At the end of your next exhale, we'll find a nice neutral tabletop position. Maybe you take this moment to pause here and grab a drink. Find that beverage, take a little sip. For copyright reasons, we're not going to tell you what we're drinking, but it's delicious. And we'll come back into our nice neutral tabletop position. What we're going to do from here is we're going to take our hands and we're going to step them a little bit farther forward on our mat and maybe move our knees a little bit farther behind us so that we're kind of in like a modified plank here. And we're going to kind of take circles with our hips and drop them all the way down to the mat and then circle them all the way around. So it's kind of like you're coming all the way back into a child's pose, but we're making giant circles with our hips all the way around. Nice, beautiful movements. It's okay to have your hands stay exactly where they're at, even if it means that your tailbone doesn't go all the way down to your heels, and just kind of move through this. And the next time that your hips come down, we're going to stay there and shine the chest forward. See if maybe you can extend the arms like Kate has her arms here. And on the exhale, she's going to find a child's pose, but she's going to keep her hands where she's at. And she's going to rock through this. So child's pose all the way back to that cobra. Think about moving. Look how her spine fluidly moves forward and backwards. And now maybe you can't see your spine, but just imagine that movement in your spine, the flexion. And nice deep breaths. And the next time that you end up with your hips coming back down towards your heels, we're going to hold there and find a full-on child's pose. So let your hips come all the way down onto your heels. Let your forehead come down onto the mat. Let your hands slide back towards your feet. And take nice deep breaths here. Relax the forehead down onto the mat. And on your next inhale, let's come back into our tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to extend that right leg out nice and long behind us. And we're going to take some hip circles, but that means we're going to bend the knee and bring it all the way to the right elbow. Think about bringing that knee nice and wide all the way out and around, then kick it all the way back. And we're going to make a lot of circles like this, coming all the way in. Try to bring that knee all the way towards the elbow. See how wide you can make a circle with your knee as if you're drawing it with your kneecap. And then go ahead and switch direction, lifting it up and back, maybe feeling this a little bit in the glutes and the hamstrings. Beautiful. And the next time the leg is lifted and bent, we're going to keep it there, hold right there. We're going to lift that left arm forward. See if you can reach back with that left hand and grab a hold of that right foot. Stretch through the front of the body, find a nice teardrop shape. And if you can't reach for that foot, you're just energetically reaching the hand back towards that foot. Take a nice deep breath in. Keep that right leg lifted. Plant the left hand down on the floor. We're going to extend the right leg out nice and long. Start to reach the right arm up towards the sky and come into a modified side plank. Option to stay here or to bend that right leg, reach back with the right hand and grab a hold of that foot. A different sort of teardrop shape, same opening through the chest and the torso. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, let's come back into our tabletop position. Beautiful. Let's switch it to the opposite side. That left leg is going to extend out nice and long. We're going to bend that knee and start taking those circles. Bring that knee towards the elbow, round it in. Keep it going, really pulling that knee in towards the elbow. That's going to help engage that core. So we're doing a little bit of light work today, but you're going to feel a little bit of this in your core. That's what we want. Go ahead, switch direction whenever you're ready. And the next time that foot finds itself facing towards the ceiling, we're going to hold here. Reach that right arm forward and see if you can grab a hold of that left leg. Reach back, find that teardrop shape. Kick, kick, kick. Beautiful. One more deep inhale in, and on your exhale, that right hand comes down. Extend that left leg out nice and long. Ground into that right hand and lift that left arm up towards the sky. And stay here or bend that left leg. Reach back with the left hand. Same sort of bind here. Push that chest forward. Beautiful. Nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, let's come back to our tabletop position. Tuck the toes under. Now she's going to drop the belly a little bit and lift the hips up towards the sky as she comes into down dog. Now dropping the belly helps her tailbone stay nice and lifted so that when she comes up, her back doesn't round. She's got good flexibility in her hamstrings, so her heels can come all the way down to the floor, but it's okay if those heels are lifted to help you make sure that your tailbone is lifted and your back is nice and straight. So let's pedal out the feet here, bending into one knee and then the other. Find those nice deep breaths. Let's inhale, lift the heels nice and high. Exhale, melt them over towards the right. Yeah, really ground down into that left hand. Inhale the heels nice and high. Exhale over towards the left. Inhale the heels nice and high. Bend the knees, gaze in between the hands, and tiptoe your way to the front of the mat. Find a forward fold. Maybe find your drink. Maybe take a little sip. And in this forward fold, we're going to go ahead, spread our feet about hip width distance wide. Bend the knees a lot here. Generous bend in those knees to make sure the belly and the thighs are touching, and then relax the head, relax the jaw. Maybe grab for opposite elbows, or maybe wrap your arms around your calves and give yourself a giant hug. Notice she gentle sways from side to side. That's always an option. Find those nice deep breaths, but remember that a bend in the knees is very important for this very first forward fold. Let's take one more deep breath in here, and on your exhale, release your hands down to the floor. Inhale to halfway lift, nice straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach the arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, interlace the fingers. the palms up towards the sky. Relax the shoulders down the back. Take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, hinge to the right. Push the hips to the left. She's going to move so she can show you what she's doing. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back to center and exhale. Let's come back into our forward fold. Relax the arms down. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back into your plank position. We're going to hold here. I'm going to take you through a chaturanga one piece at a time. From this plank position, we're going to lower all the way down onto our belly. Elbows close to the sides. Untuck the toes, push the tops of the feet into the floor. Push the hands into the floor and find your fullest extent of your cobra. Maybe you can extend the arms all the way like Kate is here. Maybe they're slightly bent and that's okay. Exhale to lower all the way back down, nose to the floor, tuck the toes under. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Option to keep your knees down on the floor at any point in time as you lift up into your down dog. Let's head through our sun sal one more time, one breath, one movement. Inhale the heels nice and high, bend the knees, gaze in between the hands, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift, straighten the spine, create a number 7. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach the arms up overhead. This time we're coming straight into a back bend, so cactus the arms 90 degrees, shine the chest forward, hips push forward. Inhale back to center, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back into your plank position. Exhale down. Inhale into your back bend of choice, cobra or upward facing dog. Thighs lifted means upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's inhale the right leg nice and high. Bend the right knee, stack the hips, take a scorpion dog. Notice how her right arm is still grounded, her shoulders are still square. Maybe take some circles with that knee, open up that hip. Find those nice deep breaths, switch direction, and then inhale, lengthen that right leg nice and long. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Drop the left knee down onto the mat, untuck the left toes. Let's inhale, reach the arms up overhead, find a crescent moon. On the exhale, we're going to come into half splits. The hands are going to come down, toes up towards the face, straighten through the right leg. She's going to move through this as she inhales. She's going to bend through the right knee, drop the hips, reach the arms up. And as she exhales, hands come down, straighten through that right leg. You're going to move through this following your own breath, your own movement, taking your time, moving as slow or as fast as you would like to go as you move through this. And the next time you end up in that half splits, we're going to hold here. Take a sip of your drink, whatever that may be. Maybe it's water. And you're going to pull the right toes up towards the face. Now you have a couple of options here. Your hands can come on blocks or books or props to help lengthen through the upper body. You can bend the right knee to help preventing the spine from rounding too much. And if your right leg stays nice and straight and you don't have any issues with that, maybe you walk your outside of that right foot and your left hand finds the outside edge of that right leg. Find your nice deep breaths. Beautiful. A few more breaths here. Take a nice deep breath in. Feel that right hamstring lengthening on your exhale. And let's start to bend into that right leg and come back into our low lunge. Reach the arms up overhead. We're going to play around with our balance here. Tuck the left toes under and see the left heel off of the mat and find a crescent warrior. Really straighten through that left leg, nice strong back leg. Notice how her knee is stacked right on top of her ankle and her biceps are by her ears. She's drawing that rib cage in, pulling that right hip back. One more deep breath in on our exhale. Let's find a warrior 2. Right arm forward, left arm back. That back foot is going to pivot so that it's parallel to the back of the mat. And if you don't have the back of a mat, your foot is just parallel. Your toes are in line with each other. It's perpendicular to your foot. I think that's the word I'm looking for. And your right toes are forward. Your front heel is in line with your back arch. Your shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. We're going to flip the front palm, straighten through the right leg, and find a reverse triangle. And she's going to move through this. Exhale, find that warrior 2. Bend into that front knee. Exhale, lift that right arm up. Find your reverse triangle. Feel that lengthen through the right leg. Move through this following your own breath, your own movement. Lengthening through the right side of the body. And then bending, finding that strength in that front leg. Nice. We're going to move through this one more time. And the next time you find that reverse triangle, we're going to stay here. Lengthen through the right side of the body, and then we're going to find Trikonasana triangle pose. Reach that right arm forward. Tick-tock the arms to 6 and 12. Now, it's okay here for that right hand to find the shin if you need some support, but try not to totally depend on that right hand. And lengthen through the right side of the body. Yes, perfect. Hips are pointing towards the opposite side of the room, and you want to feel that stretch in that right inner thigh. Take one more deep breath here. And on your exhale, hands are going to come down to the floor. That front foot's going to turn parallel to the front of the mat. We're coming for a wide leg forward fold. Nice. Relax the head, relax the jaw. Close the eyes here and take some nice deep breaths. Relax the shoulders. Maybe shake the head no, nod the head yes. Make sure everything is nice and relaxed. Find some nice deep breaths here. Let those legs be out as wide as feels comfortable for your body. On the next inhale, let's find a halfway lift. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, star pose. Reach the arms up overhead. Puff up the chest here. Turn the toes out and the heels in. We're going to sink it down for a goddess squat. Now hands are going to come down to right there. Yep. So elbows are going to be in line with the shoulders, 90-degree angle. On the inhale, she's going to reach back up into that star pose. On the exhale, she's going to come back down into that goddess pose. Beautiful. She's reaching up for that beautiful positive energy. And on the exhale, she's bringing it down into her heart. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down into that goddess pose. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, this time we're going to come down to that goddess pose and hold here. One more deep breath in. On the exhale, let's straighten through the legs and find that wide leg forward fold. Bring the hands down to the floor. She's going to walk her feet towards the left foot. We're going to find a low lunge towards what is the back of the mat, but just really the left side of her mat. Drop the right knee down onto the floor. Untuck the right toes. Inhale, reach up into that crescent moon. And on the exhale, let's find that low lunge, or that half split. Straighten through that left leg, forehead down towards the knee. She's going to rock through this, following her own inhale and exhale. I encourage you to do the same. Take your time. Maybe your pace is different. Your breath is different. Your movement is different. And that's totally okay. Maybe you have some pillows under that right knee to make it nice and comfortable for you to move through this if it bothers that right knee. Just a few more times. And the next time she finds that half splits, we're going to hold here, straighten through that left leg, left toes up towards the face. Relax the forehead down towards the knee and take whatever variation you did on the other side. Maybe you even have a long enough left arm to reach all the way for your drink at the back of your mat. Yeah. And take a nice big sip. Breathe here in that half split. Relax the jaw, relax the head. Breathe. Every exhale, feel the length come in through that left hamstring. Following that nice Ujjayi breath here. One more deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to walk back into that low lunge. Lift the arms up overhead. We're going to play with our balance. Tuck the toes under. Lift that right knee off the mat. Find that crescent lunge. And on the exhale, warrior two, left arm forward, right arm back. Bending into that front knee. Shoulders are relaxed and away from the ears, and we're going to move through our reverse triangle to warrior two. On the inhale, we're going to straighten through that left leg, reach the left arm up. And on the exhale, we're going to come all the way back into our warrior two. Beautiful. Move through this nice and slow and controlled. Find those nice deep breaths. A couple more times here. And the next time she finds that reverse triangle, we're going to stay here. Lengthen through the left side of the body, and let's come in for that Trikonasana triangle pose. Reach the left arm forward, right arm reaches up nice and high. Gaze up at the right fingertips. Beautiful. Find that nice deep breath. One more deep breath in. And let's find that wide leg forward fold. This time we're going to inhale, halfway lift, and interlace the hands behind the back. Puff up the chest. And then on the exhale, let's come back into that fold. Relax the head, relax the jaw. Let the fist kind of fall towards the back of the room. Let's again close the eyes and find some nice deep breaths here. Breathing in. Exhale to sink it down. One more deep breath in. On the exhale, hands come down to the floor. Inhale to halfway lift, straighten the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, star pose, rise all the way up, reach the arms up overhead, toes out, heels in, sink it down for that goddess squat and hold here. Take the hands on the knees. I'm actually going to have Kate face forward so that you can see this here. So her thumbs are going to be on the inside of her inner thigh, and she's going to drop one shoulder down, and she's going to use her hands to push her legs out and let it sink that shoulder down. Feel a stretch in that shoulder. Inhale back to center and exhale, switch it to the opposite side. Nice job. Inhale back to center. One more time each side. Grab for that drink. And the next time you're facing the front of the mat, which is now Kate's back on the mat, so you stay where you're at, Kate, right there. You're going to find a low lunge towards the front of the mat. We're going to step the right foot back to join the left, or whatever your front foot is. We're going to drop the knees down onto the mat. We're going to find a child's pose. Big toes to touch. Let the hips sink down, forehead down towards the knees. And breathe here. Find those nice deep breaths. We're here for 5 deep breaths, so can you come back to that ocean wave? Let's take one more deep, full breath in. One full exhale out. And on your inhale, start to walk your hands forward, tuck the toes under. Let's come back into our downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg nice and high. And this time we're going to step it to the outside of our right hand. So both hands are going to come to the inside of that right foot. We're going to drop that left knee down onto the mat, untuck the left toes. Option to stay here onto the hands, or maybe you drop down onto the elbows and find your deep lizard pose. You can also bring your elbows onto blocks or props if you have them. Yeah, maybe a nice little bolster here. Find whatever you need to sink down into that right hip. Breathe here. Let that left hip sink down. Option to always take something under that left knee for support if you need to. 2 more deep breaths. And when you're ready, option, we're going to take our left hand to the inside of our right foot. Our right hand is going to gently push that right knee away. And we're going to gaze over our right shoulder. Now, if it feels okay on your left knee, maybe you bend that left leg. And if it feels okay, maybe you take your right hand and reach for that left foot. Take a bind, open up the chest here. Beautiful. One more deep breath in. And on your exhale, let's come back into that low lunge. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee off of the mat. We're going to find Skandasana to the back of the mat. So we're going to bend into that left leg, right toes up towards the sky. Sink the hips down. And because this is a level 1, let's keep our hands on the floor. And maybe walk your hands backwards or forward so that you can get an extra deep bow here with the upper body. Yeah, really feel that stretch through that right inner thigh. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders and come into a wide leg forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, star pose, rise up, reach the arms up overhead. Slight bend in that left leg. We're going to come to Tadasana towards the back of the mat, or I guess it's your front of the mat, Kate. So you're going to come with your feet together. I'm going to have you keep facing me though. There we go. So we're all facing sideways still, as if you're still facing your wide leg forward fold direction. We're going to ground into that right leg, and we're going to take the left foot and find a tree variation. Now, option here to just turn that left knee out and keep a little kickstand with the left toes. Maybe you bring your left foot to the inside of the left shin, or maybe you take that left foot to the inside of your right inner thigh. Wherever you're at in this tree pose, your foot is pushing into your thigh and your thigh into your foot. Your shoulders are relaxed and away from the ears. Your belly is pulled in. Now notice she's gazing at one space. That is called your dristi. Ground into that right foot. Take a nice deep breath in. Maybe reach your arms up overhead if you haven't. And on your exhale, we're going to take that left foot, step it all the way back into our star pose. Exhale, find a forward fold, relax the hands down to the floor, and we're going to walk our hands towards the back of the mat. So we're going to bend into that left leg this time. Both hands come to the inside of that left foot. Drop that right knee down onto the mat, untuck the right toes, and let the hips sink down here. Find that lizard pose. I'm going to give a little assist here, not with her body, but with her drink. Maybe you take a little sip. Helps to loosen up the muscles. Find those nice deep breaths. And if you did so on the other side, we're going to take that right hand to the inside of our left foot. We're going to bend that right leg, reach back with the left hand, and grab a hold of that foot. Take nice deep breaths in. And on your exhale, let's release the hands down onto the floor. Tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee off of the mat. We're going to walk our hands into our wide leg forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach the arms up overhead. This time we're going to slightly bend into that right leg and find Tadasana facing with the left foot and right foot together. So we're heading towards that left leg. And this time we're going to ground into that left foot. We're going to lift the right knee high and see whatever tree pose variation fits for you. Maybe this side is a little different, and that's okay. Just ground down into that left foot. Push the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot. Find strength and activeness throughout the entire body. Maybe grow your branches like a real live tree in the springtime. Maybe flow from side to side. Take a nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, let's take that right leg, step it all the way to the front of the mat. Reach up, find your star pose. Take a little back bend here. This is your power stance. And on the exhale, fingertips down towards the floor. Walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Step that right foot back to join your left. Optional vinyasa flow if you'd like, or we're going to make our way into a puppy pose. So puppy pose is similar to child's pose, except the hips stay stacked on top of the knees and you crawl your hands forward. Some people can get their chest onto the floor in this position. And for some people, the chest is just not going to touch the floor. If your chest comfortably lays on the floor, your chin can find the floor. If your chest does not find the floor, your forehead is going to rest down. We're getting a deeper shoulder opening here. Nice deep breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to come into a tabletop position. Just shift your hips from one side, and we're going to make our way onto our seat. Take a sip of your drink, whatever that might be. And we are going to take our right knee in. So our right sole of our foot is going to come to the left inner thigh. Yeah, thank you, Kate. Just going to face forward so that we can see this. And on the exhale, we're going to reach for our left toes. So hinge forward. Now bend reach down and touch that knee. Maybe you grab a hold of your feet and breathe here. Find those deep breaths. And maybe as you exhale, you start to feel that your leg can straighten, but your knee definitely stays onto that foot. Find those nice deep breaths. From here, we're going to take that left hand and we're going to grab for our right knee. And then we're going to start to open up the chest. Now maybe your right fingertips need to release your left foot, but you're going to take a lateral bend here. So notice how Kate has her left hand on that right knee. It's helping to kind of maybe let her lean back a little bit into this and open that right shoulder up. Feel that nice stretch through the opening of the body. One more deep breath in, and on the exhale, that right hand is going to come to the outside of that right hip. We're going to take a little counter stretch. We're going to come onto that left knee, lift the hips nice and high, shine the chest open, and then gently make your way back down onto your seat. Out. Left sole of the foot to the right inner thigh. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, find that forehead towards the knee. Breathe here. Every exhale sinks you a little bit deeper. And then the right hand's going to grab for that left knee. And again, maybe that left hand detaches from the toes if you had them, just so you can pull the chest open. She's going to use her right hand to help rotate her torso open here. And the left shoulder is going to pull back and away from the ears. Feel that length of the left side of the body. The left hip is down onto the ground. Take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, let's find that counter stretch. Plant that left hand. Find that knee lift up. Yes, beautiful. Really stretch it out here. And on your exhale, let's come all the way back down onto our seat. And then we're going to come into a tabletop position, however you would like to arrive there. We're going to let the left leg slide out nice and long behind us, and we're going to take that right knee behind the right wrist, and we're coming in for half pigeon. Now there's options here. If you need to take a block under that right hip, you can do so. And if you'd like to take supine pigeon, you're going to make your way onto your back. Cross your right ankle on top of your left. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and give it a gentle pull towards your face. So whatever pigeon option is yours, we're going to find that posture and we're going to breathe here. Slide that leg out, relax it down, and breathe. We hold a lot of stress in our hips, so just kind of notice what comes up for you. Notice what comes up for you mentally, physically, and find those nice deep breaths. Take this opportunity to slow your breathing down. We're here for 5 more deep breaths. Now, some of you are definitely going to stay here. This is a great stretch. We're opening up that right hip. Feels amazing. Some of you might want to take this a little bit deeper. Now, if you're taking this a little bit deeper, you're going to start to come up onto your hands. And you're going to bend into that left leg and reach back with the left hand and grab a hold of your foot and find a mermaid's pose. You want to make sure that left hip stays planted sort of towards the floor. And you're going to reach your right arm up and overhead. Nice. Take some nice deep breaths wherever you're at. Even if you're in that pigeon pose, you're holding here for 2 more deep breaths. And on your exhale, let's release down, relax that left leg nice and long. Now, instead of coming out of this normal downward facing dog way, we're going to roll onto our right hip and come to a wide leg forward fold. So let the legs out nice and long. Maybe pull the fleshy part from behind your seat so that you can sit up nice and tall. You're going to inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, start to reach the hands forward, hinge forward from the hips, and then let the hands fall wherever they'd like. Again, Kate's pretty flexible, so don't judge yourself against her flexibility. She's been doing this for years. So you can even do things like if you have that pillow or that blankie, you can take that and place it right underneath the chest and shoulders, and maybe even stack some blocks or books, whatever it makes you feel better. Don't be ashamed as how far you can take this, because it's more important that we have a quality stretch rather than getting into the stretch that we think our ego wants us to have, that yoga journal, yoga posture. It's just not necessary, and it's going to cause injury. Let's find 3 more deep breaths here. And at the end of your 3rd exhale, taking your time to get there, we're going to start to rise up. And we're going to just move into pigeon to the opposite side of our mat. So we're going to bend that left leg. We're going to just kind of shift our hip over that right leg. Get yourself nice and situated. If you went onto your back, find your back here. Find a sip of whatever you'd like. And then exhale, lower down into your sleepy pigeon. Relax the head, relax the jaw. And breathe. Let all expression melt off of your face. Find relaxation in the body, and use your breath to help you sink down into this posture. Using your breath, tell your body that you're nice and relaxed. Let go of that tension in your hips. Let go of the tension that you're holding in your mind. And breathe here. Slow your breathing down. We're here for 5 more deep breaths. Some of you stayed in pigeon, and if you did, you're going to stay right where you're at. And if you came into a mermaid pose, you're going to start to walk up onto your hands. Gently bend that right leg, reach back with the right hand, get a little deeper into that hip flexor. Find 2 deep breaths in your expression of your mermaid. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and drop that hands down to the ground. And we're going to come back into that wide leg forward fold, shake out the legs, maybe windshield wiper them from side to side. And then we're just going to swing both legs towards the front of the mat. And roll all the way down onto our back. Take a sip if you'd like before you head all the way down. And when you arrive, we're going to hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice hug. And then we're going to place the feet down onto the ground. Keep the knees bent. Just kidding. We're going to take the knees and we're going to stack them on top of the hips. We're going to make the shins parallel to the floor. Hands are going to be on the thighs. And what we're going to do is we're going to actively push the thighs away and push the hands into the thighs. This is a nice little core activation here. She's going to do this on her exhale. She's going to push the hands into the thighs. On her inhale, she's going to bring her feet down to the floor, and she's going to find a bridge pose. So plant the feet, reach the arms up overhead, lift the hips up. Nice. Exhale, lower down, bring the knees up, push the hands into the legs, and find that core engagement. Inhale, drop the feet, lift the hips. Exhale, lower down. Hands on the thighs and squeeze out all that air. Use your core. One more time. Let's inhale. Find that bridge pose. Lift up. Exhale. Lower down. Find that engagement in that core. Push the hands into the thighs and the thighs into the hands. Beautiful. And then we're going to find that bridge pose. Plant the feet. Hands can come down by the sides this time. Now, I'm going to show you some options here. She's going to drive her inner thighs towards each other, lift the hips up nice and high. You can stay here in this very active core. If you have a block, you can place your block on the medium or low setting. I wouldn't recommend high. And you can rest your sacrum right on that on that block. Now, if you only had a pillow, you can do this exact same thing, just sliding that bolster underneath the hips. Yeah. And from here, you can keep the feet underneath the knees, or you can choose to start to walk your feet out nice and long in front of you. So in the beginning of class, we did a nice chest opening, and in the end of class, we're going to end it with a nice, delicious hip opening, spreading out those hip flexors here. If we do a lot of sitting, or if we do a lot of driving, we're really tightening those hip flexors. We want to make sure that we can push those hips up towards the sky. This is a muscle that we hold a lot of our stress in. It's our fight or flight muscle. It's what brings us into the fetal position, animal instinct, when you're scared, rounding forward. So this is going to help to release a lot of tension and stress. So again, like we did earlier in class with our nice deep breaths, I want you to breathe all the way down into your lower belly. Find nice deep exhales, come back to that ocean wave and breathe here. Think about the ocean wave coming up onto the shore, pausing at the top, and exhaling all the way out. You got this. A few more deep breaths. And if at any point in time you feel any pinching on the low back or anything like that, go ahead and come out of it. This is great if you have a herniated disc or bulging discs or anything like it, because it's going to help push the spinal fluid forward in our body, and that's what we want, instead of back into our spinal cord. And when you're ready, we're going to walk the feet back underneath the knees, gently ground down into the heels, lift the hips up and slide whatever prop you have out from underneath you. Lower the hips down onto the ground. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice hug. You've earned it. Bring the forehead to the knees. And on the exhale, relax your upper body down. We're going to keep the right knee in, left leg out nice and long. Take that left hand, guide that right knee across the body side, body stretch. Maybe you get a couple of cracks in your back here after moving around all of our muscles, all the ligaments, doing so much good for our body. Hug the knees back into the chest, neutralize the spine, and then switch it out, left knee in and long. And take that side body stretch on this side. Take a nice deep breath in, bring the knees back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Grab for the outside of your feet. Let's come into a happy baby. Bring the tailbone down towards the ground. Bring the knees in towards the armpit. Give yourself a nice little stretch, maybe straightening into one leg and then the other. And then let's hug the knees into the chest. Bring the forehead to the knees. Take a nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, release down into your final Shavasana. Relax all expression off of your face. Relax the jaw, unclench the teeth. Relax that space in between our eyebrows that we use to frown all day. Relax the shoulders underneath the back. Relax the toes out, the hips down. And think about those nice deep breaths, noticing all the blood flow that's moving around your body, sending that nice, fresh, oxygenated blood throughout our whole entire system. And for the next 5 minutes, I want you to challenge yourself to stay here with your breath. Try to let out all distractions, whatever they may be in your household right now. Try to find some peace and quiet within your mind.